What's going on, guys? It's your boys from the sidelines here, and the NFL wildcard week is over. And let me just say, you couldn't have wrote a better script. I
Yeah,
guess
we
we'll
really
jump.
couldn't have.
Yeah, but we'll jump right into it, I guess, and talk about the Chargers and the Jags. I honestly think that was probably, what was it, the third biggest comeback in the
Uh,
NFL.
I, I don't know. I don't remember like what the statistics were, but as Trevor Lawrence said, and as you just said, that was one good script of a game right there.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. And then obviously a couple other wild things. Seattle and San Francisco was a great fucking game the whole first half, first 2.5 quarters, and then they blew it open. I don't know if you got to actually watch any of it or not, but
I don't think I kept my eye too much on that game just because I didn't think it was actually ever going to be a good game. Um, and well, it really wasn't. And then there was, yeah, I mean, yeah, I just didn't think that was going to be a good game.
I think for the wild card, almost all of our all of our predictions were wrong pretty much. Even if we picked the right team, like Miami Buffalo, we're like blowout for sure. Ended up being pretty much the closest game
Yeah, it was.
or the
And
biggest
I
nail
think
biter.
Well, I said 49ers would beat the Seahawks. I think I don't remember what the score I said was. I
Yeah,
think I
that
said
one was
27-13 or something.
that was about the only one that we actually picked right. Like we said they'd
Yeah.
win maybe by a couple of possessions or something, but everything else we picked at
Yeah,
least
it was
in one way or
wrong.
another wrong. We thought Cincinnati
I,
was going to win convincingly.
well, I said Chargers, Jaguars. I remember I picked the Chargers to win, but I said it would come down to a final drive, which the game did,
Yeah, you got
just
that
in
one
favor
right.
of the Jaguars.
I know I
Bills,
picked the
Dolphins, yeah.
Chargers.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, I said the Chargers would win. I just got
Oh,
the
did you?
I just yeah, I believe I did. It's just I said that the that game would just come down to like the final like minute or so. Um, Bills Dolphins. I said Bills would win convincingly, which they didn't.
I think
Giants
everyone
Vikings.
thought that though,
Yeah, I
honestly.
think a lot of people did not think that game would have been as close as it was. Giants Vikings. I said the Vikings would have won. Although I didn't. I said again. I thought that game would also be very close, which was decided by one score.
Yeah, we did say that was a toss up. Those were the two toss ups that we really said I think was
I I think I got the Bengals Ravens game right though. I think I said the Bengals would win, but it would be a lot closer than people think it will be. And they won by 7. I think I said
yeah.
they'd win by 10.
And then obviously we both got Dallas Tampa Bay wrong. Way wrong.
Yeah, I thought. I also thought that'd be a last drive game. It definitely wasn't.
Yeah. Also
Tom
the fact
Brady
that
threw.
what yeah, he's
He just threw. He almost threw 70 passes, which is absurd. Of which, now I actually fell asleep in this game. I ended up waking up in the last like minute of the game when I already knew it was over. But um, Tom Brady threw 66 passes, in which he completed like
I think
I mean he
38
completed
or something like
30.
that.
He completed 35, so he was basically let's call it 50% accuracy, which is still not good. But from what I heard, he was also making a lot of bad throws the entire game. Also,
Yeah, it was definitely not a Tom Brady playoff performance. I mean, the wide
no.
receivers were Godwin didn't have a. I mean, they didn't play absolutely terrible or anything, but they just when you throw 50%, it's going to be hard to beat the Cowboys when they're playing good.
Yeah, especially because their defense really is not that. They have a solid defense on paper. So,
Yeah,
um, but yeah, I mean,
but then you do
Tom,
have them missing 4 extra points
yeah,
to
that
stay under
also
the over under.
standard though, right? Because it's rigged. But the I don't know, Tom Brady, 35-66. I know we talked about last week what we think will happen with him, but I still don't know.
Yeah, I think it's after that the way they just went out there. I don't think he's going to be in Tampa if he does come back next year.
No, they should just run Kyle Trask, their third string or like second year quarterback who's thrown like 6 passes in his career.
I know
Um,
you do. I mean, I understand why too. I'm not even arguing it or anything. You and a lot of people definitely think Las Vegas is a good fit, and I understand that too. But like we said last week, like I legitimately think if they would have went to like the conference championship or another Super Bowl, like I'm pretty sure he probably would have stayed there, honestly, if he wasn't gonna retire or go. But
maybe. I also would just wonder if he'd win another. If he won a Super Bowl this year, let's pretend. I wonder if he would have just gone out that way and said, "I'm done. I'm going out as a winner."
I would say so, more than
So
likely. Even though he just gave up his kids and wife, pretty much.
yeah, to play football, and
But
then now he's gonna be a Fox analyst after that.
but with all that being said, I guess we'll hop into the divisional rounds because that's what we
Yep.
got coming up starting
This
Saturday.
Saturday, yeah. First game, I think, is it the Chiefs and Jaguars? It
Yep.
is, yeah.
I
The
think that's going to
Jaguars
be
Chiefs.
after seeing the way Jacksonville made that comeback and everything. Obviously I'm going to pick the Chiefs. It's at
Right.
Arrowhead too and everything, but I
It is.
I don't think that's going to be a 21 point blowout or anything either. We'll stick
No,
with I think Chiefs
yeah,
by less than 10.
I would probably agree. I know, didn't Jacksonville, I'm not 100% on this, but I think Jacksonville played there earlier in the season in Arrowhead. Let me just confirm that real quick, though. But I believe they did, yeah. They played there earlier in the season, and they did lose to them, but they only lost by 10. And it was 27-17. I think this game this weekend is going to be very high scoring. I think it's going to be a game where it's like potentially first team to like 35 points wins type of game. Um, and I would agree the Chiefs will win, but I think it's also going to be a game where it comes down to the final 2 minutes of the game type of game.
Yeah,
I think Jackson. This is like the rise of Jacksonville, which has never really been a thing ever in their
other
history for
than
the
the one
most part.
random year that they were good
Yeah, that
and
one
choked
random
to the
year where they lost to
Patriots.
yeah, which was also a rigged football game. But they, yeah, that was the year they had a ridiculous defense. But even besides that, I mean, I know there were years back in like the 2000s where they were like early 2000s. So I believe the Patriots also beat them in the AFC Championship game one year. I think back then. I'm not 100% on that, but yeah, Jaguars Chiefs, 100% should be a good game. Chiefs will win though. But again, I think it'll be come down to the final couple minutes of the game.
Yeah, and he's been throwing a lot of picks too, but I do think Trevor Lawrence is obviously, I mean, he's already won a playoff game now, so he's definitely their franchise guy, and they haven't really had somebody that you could probably count on being there 5 years and being good every year.
Yeah, no,
There's somebody to build around,
Mahomes.
I guess.
Mahomes is going to. I mean, people already probably know this, but Mahomes is going to be like a Tom Brady for the next like 10 plus years, unless he gets hurt or something along those lines, like badly. But even going back to just saying the NFL is rigged, even if it was, let's pretend like something came out tomorrow, like Roger Goodell said, yeah, the NFL is not real. Even if that was the case, I'd still would pay attention to it just because it's a form of entertainment. So rigged or not, I'd still care about football, or
Yeah,
at least pay attention to
and
it.
just so everybody knows if they think we're serious or not, don't think it's actually rigged. I mean, for all I know, there could be shit going on to definitely stay under the
Sway.
over under or things like that, like I think kind of happened in the Dallas Bucks game. But I mean, the over under was 45.5, and all he had to do was make one of those 4 extra points.
And missed every single one of them.
But either way, like I don't think it's rigged enough to where they already have a Super Bowl champ decided or anything like that. I mean, it could come
No.
out, who knows, but I don't think so.
Well, I do think, and this is 100% true. I mean, I do think referees protect players such as Tom Brady. I mean, it was proven in
Oh,
the
that's
Atlanta
definitely proven.
Falcons game earlier. I also know they do that in other sports, like LeBron James, for example. They'll protect him. Giannis, they'll protect him. But Yeah, I mean, like I remember there was that play earlier in the year with it was Tom Brady. All he got I think he got sacked or maybe he got hit as he threw it or something like that. I don't remember. It was just like a normal hit and they called roughing the passer on it. It was against the Falcons in like week 6 or something. But there's just a perfect example of referees just protecting certain players because it's like you're not making that call if that was like a play that happened to Davis Mills. You're not making that call, so
Yeah.
they don't care enough. But yeah, I guess. But enough of that. I guess moving forward now, we got the next game on Saturday: Giants and Eagles.
Same situation, honestly. Since New York got there, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I'm definitely picking Eagles in like an under 2 possession game, under 14 probably. But I just don't see the Eagles or Chiefs. Honestly, other than Cincinnati and Buffalo, I guess really both the games on Sunday could go either way, but I just don't see Jacksonville or New York pulling the upset.
Uh, I think the Eagles will win this one, and I don't think it'll be that close. Even though it's two divisional game or teams, so the whole divisional rivalry, which usually means for a better game typically. I know the Eagles won both of their matchups against the Giants in the regular season. One of them was by like 26 points. They killed them. And the other one was the literal last game of the season, in which I don't think either team was really playing that much. I don't think they. I don't. Did they play in the week? I don't remember. I don't remember if the Eagles had something to play for in the last week of the season. But either way, I think this game will be pretty. I think this game will be one-sided in the favor of the Eagles. It's not that I don't. I think the Giants will do nothing all game, but I just don't think. I think it'll be a over 10-point game for in favor of the Eagles.
Danny Dimes about to give it everything he has.
Yeah, he's about to give up just 10 points. That's why he called Danny Dimes.
Honestly, though, I think it'll be a good game if they play exactly how they did last week, because he did what you have to do as a quarterback to win big games. He had a bunch of big runs.
The Eagles are a lot better than the Vikings are.
Oh,
anyway.
for sure,
The Vikings
for sure.
defense is garbage, and the Eagles' defense is actually I think like a top 3 in the NFL, actually.
And we've been talking about how suspect the Vikings were. I mean, I know you picked them to win, but you said that's all the Vikings would do anyway if they did win.
Yeah.
But
they were losing the next round either way.
Yeah, that one's probably the least of my concern for any of these games. Honestly, I'm sure the same with you.
Yeah, that's probably if I had to pick the worst game of the 4 games, this is probably the worst game. But I still don't think it'll be bad. It's just the worst game, I think, to watch.
Yeah. Now, to me, obviously, being a Bengals fan, there's the main reason, but I don't know which one's going to be better, but I think at least Cincinnati at Buffalo is going to be maybe the best game of the playoffs until, obviously, conference championship or Super Bowl.
Right. For this round specifically, Bengals, Bills, 100%. 100% is the best game of this weekend. I think everyone would agree with that. Actually, you could make the. Oh, that's not true. I shouldn't say that because I know other people. Some people have said Chiefs Jaguars would probably be their favorite game to watch this weekend, but same with Cowboys Niners. But anyway, just specifically just talking about these two teams. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, yeah, this is the best game of the weekend.
I know you picked them to win, so I already know who you're going with.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Bills. Yeah, this is also gonna be very close though, very. And this is also already. I just realized this is indirectly a makeup game because last time they played in the regular season was the Damar Hamlin issue.
Yep.
I didn't even really think about that till just now.
So they definitely have a lot to play for against the Bengals, but also on the other hand, obviously the Bengals are playing to get back to the Super Bowl.
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, the Bills. Yeah, they have. I was about to say the Bills made it to the AFC Championship since they've been good, and they did. They lost to the Chiefs like a few years ago, and the Chiefs I think lost to the Buccaneers. But the Bills I don't know. Even though they only won by 3 last week to the Dolphins against a third string quarterback,
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
yeah, it doesn't. I still think the Bills will win this weekend. But again, it's going to come down to the literal like last couple of plays. Like it's going to be one of those games again. And that, yeah, this is going to be a back and forth game. And I think this will also be, even though the Bills have a good defense, I think it's going to be a back and forth scoring game.
And
And
last possession type game for sure.
yeah,
At least that's my pick.
yeah, this is going to be a game where both teams are probably both teams putting up 30s, which is what happened last week with the Bills too. So,
I'm taking the
we'll
Bengals
see.
by 4.
I'll go
I'm
Bills win 38-33 or something like that.
That's about what I'm picking, but I'm taking Joey B. Got
That's
Chase is still
definitely
healthy,
big.
Boyd's healthy, Hurst
I
still.
don't. What I'm just wondering, why would they not put the game at the night game? I guess
I,
because Cowboys are America's team or whatever, and they always get the night.
and it's too
But
west. Well, I guess Dallas isn't
oh,
West Coast,
that's
but
true. That's true. I didn't really think.
yeah, now I guess that's all we got for that. There's undoubtedly going to be a great game, and I think so is Dallas and San Francisco. I think, honestly, I don't know, man. I'm going to go with San Francisco, but I think it's definitely, obviously, one of those games that can go either way.
Yeah, that's a very big toss-up game as well. I mean, you have. I mean, okay, so you're basically saying, do you trust Dallas, who definitely has the more experience, and we're really just talking about the quarterback position, or do you trust the 49ers, even though Brock Purdy's been good, he's still a rookie against a very above average defense in the Cowboys. Now the 49ers also have very very good defense. I think they do have just the best defense in football against a quarterback who also has thrown the most interceptions in the NFL, even though he didn't even play the full season. Um, I'm gonna pick the Niners. I think the Brock Purdy hype is just it's just gonna keep going up and up. I think the Niners win, but this is going to be a good game as well. I'd be shocked if this game was like over 10 points as far as the deficit goes.
Yeah, there's no
Honestly,
way.
any of these, besides the Eagles Giants, any of these games, if the team wins by 10 or more, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I'm honestly too. I think San Francisco. I think this is where we both have them getting beat by the Eagles in the conference championship, and
Yeah,
if
I
they do
know.
get there, I think it's because they rely on the defense too much since Brock Purdy's still young. Unless he absolutely balls out of control the next 2 weeks, then obviously they won't get to the Super Bowl. But if he
Yeah,
does
I
get to
mean
the Super
Brock.
Bowl, then that says everything you need to know about him.
I mean Brock did throw for over 300 yards with only 18 completions, which is actually kind of high.
And
That's
if they're
over
gonna
11
win, he's
yards.
got to keep putting up numbers like that.
Yeah, I mean Debo Samuel. I mean he also had a 75-yard catch, which helps. But um, yeah, I mean I don't think Brock Purdy's that type of guy though to throw for over 300 yards consistently. Does he? How many yards has he really even thrown for since he's been playing? He puts up about in the low 200s usually, which isn't that's not a lot. So he's only had a besides that playoff game in Seattle, he only had one other game where he put up 284 yards. That was his highest, I believe. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if
I would
he's
just
gonna
say
have to have yeah.
if you're Brock Purdy, you got to put up at least 28 points a game
Right.
with the
And
Niners
honestly,
offense.
they also have Christian. They have a good run game too with Christian McCaffrey,
Yeah,
who's capable of. Well, you don't really know what you're gonna get out of him because there are games where he just does nothing. But most games he's not like that.
and you got to knock on wood that he stays healthy.
Yeah, that too, which he somehow has been all year.
Which is obviously good. You don't ever want somebody to be hurt, especially if there's somebody that's as good as he is when he's playing his
Yeah, I
best
think
anyway.
if I get the one pick in fantasy next year, again, I'm taking either him or Austin Eckler.
So both of us are going with the Niners in that one then.
Yeah, I like the Niners, but not by a lot.
And obviously,
All
if
these teams are
anybody's
good.
first time watching here, you had the Bills, Eagles in the Super Bowl with the Bills winning it. And I had
Yep.
the Eagles and
No,
Bengals.
oh no, I had the Eagles winning it, not Bills.
Did you have? That's right. And I got the Eagles winning it also against the
Did they?
Bengals. Unfortunately, even though I don't give a fuck about my predictions. If the Bengals make it there, obviously I'm pulling for them. But
There's this whole thing like you can tell who's in the Super Bowl when the games like when they run out of the field, according to some guy. He says there's always a team that looks more like enthusiastic and excited when they're running out on the field, and there's another team that just runs out on the field like not as excited, I guess.
it's funny. They even said that about the college football championship this year.
Georgia looked more excited.
Oh yeah, they were extremely hyped and like just pumped up, and TCU just kind of all jogged out onto the field.
Yeah, so that's what my brother said he was going to look out for that before the game starts, so he could tell who was going to win the game.
Hey, if he picks them all right based on that, then let me know. I'm gonna start betting.
I mean, you already know who what that means. It's like you can't be 100% on that. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I wonder if that'll happen even this weekend. Like, I could try to look for it in the Chiefs Jaguars game, maybe. See if like the Jaguars. Well, no, that wouldn't happen. Because why would the Jaguars run out all excited, like trying to hype up the crowd when they're getting Arrowhead? That's just not.
Yeah.
It's not going to do anything. But I mean, maybe they will.
I would like to change my picks. I think it's actually going to be a Giants Jags Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, but definitely. I would say the Giants would probably win that game.
Imagine if we get a crazy
If that,
turn of
if
events.
that actually happened and the Giants won the Super Bowl, who were arguably the worst team left. I don't even know.
Theoretically, there's just no way.
That wouldn't happen. It's too unrealistic for that to actually happen. It would. The Jaguars making it to the Super Bowl, okay, like that's still unlikely, but okay, I could see it more than the Giants making it. Because for the Jaguars to beat the Chiefs, let's pretend that actually happens. If the Jaguars beat the Chiefs, your average person's going to be like, this team's legit and could probably beat the Bengals or Bills in a given depending on the situation. So, whereas the Giants and Eagles, if the Giants beat the Eagles somehow, I still don't think the average person would be like, they're not good enough. They're still not good enough to beat the Niners or Cowboys.
Yeah. And saying the Cowboys too. Obviously they're legit this year. Like nobody's really saying they're not, other than just jokes or memes of it. But I do think they are the biggest question mark right now. Because if they beat San Francisco, then who knows? Honestly,
That's a big win for them, honestly, if they beat San Francisco. Because they're a team coming in basically like, okay, we know the Cowboys are always a team that makes the playoffs. They don't do anything when they make the playoffs. They're kind of like Green Bay, actually, in a lot of ways. Even though Green Bay didn't make it, they're always a team that's there, but they don't do anything.
yep.
So, it's like I wonder what's gonna happen to Mike McCarthy. If they beat the Niners this week, I would definitely think his job is safe because at least they made it to the NFC Championship game, even if they lose. But if they lose this game, I don't know. I wonder what will happen to him. If they lost against the Buccaneers, I would have said he'd probably get fired.
Yeah, because clearly they have a good enough team to do it, and at least
They
get there.
definitely have a team. They definitely have a team to at least make a Super Bowl on paper. But I don't know if they have. I don't think they're gonna go to the Super Bowl this year. Still, I mean, I already said the Eagles were, but
I think
yeah,
after,
we'll see.
I mean, obviously it's not going to affect this year, but it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with trades and the draft and everything too.
Oh yeah, this upcoming draft. I mean, the draft's not for what 3? I think it's probably like 3 months, like on the dot, pretty much from now.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely interested in seeing what's going on there because I mean, well, CJ Stroud. Well, has he even declared for the draft?
Yeah, he ended up declaring like 2 days ago. I'm pretty sure around
Okay. Because I saw the other day he wasn't declared and he had to make a decision by a certain day or something.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, he's not. He's probably gonna go second because the one pick, which is the Bears, they're not taking a quarterback. But
yeah, because they're not trying to turn into the Browns.
yeah, they don't need to
Quarterback
do
after
that.
quarterback, especially
Because
two back to
yeah,
back from Ohio State.
Justin Fields, I don't know. I feel like if he can have a better throwing game, because his throwing game's terrible, but his running game is obviously elite. If he had a better throwing game, the Bears would actually be a good team potentially.
For
They'd be all
sure.
right anyway.
I mean, if I don't think you can give up on him. I think Justin Fields, you got to give at least like 1 or 2
No,
more
I don't.
years, put some pieces
I
around him.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't move on for Justin. I would keep him. Yeah, pretty much what you said. Keep him. See if he develops a throwing game. If he really can't, then I don't know what you do. Convert him into a running back, I guess, at that point. It'll be the next Terrell Pryor.
It'd be interesting to see him as a wide receiver or running back.
He'd probably be good at it, actually.
He looks, at least watching him, I don't even know what his 40-yard time is, but he's got the speed, it looks like, to be either one of those positions.
Yeah, I don't know his 40 dash either. It's probably a 4.4 if I just take a random guess.
Yeah.
And not a Tom Brady.
Yeah, this should definitely be a good week, though. I was shocked at how the wild card round played out, so just based on looking at the matchups too for this week, there's no reason it shouldn't be as exciting as last week was.
Oh yeah, definitely it should be, and I think there's not going to be any. Well, there really weren't many blowouts last week, with the exception of 2 games. But there should only be maybe one this weekend, if any at all. And even that one game, I still don't think it's going to be a blowout. Blowout. We're talking like 13 points, maybe.
I think one of these games is gonna come down like one of those 2 games that we're thinking's gonna be not super. I mean, I know we both said that Jags, Kansas City would be kind of close, but I feel like either one of those 2 games, whether it's Jags and Chiefs or Giants and Eagles, but I think one of those 2 games is gonna end up in a Buffalo Miami situation where we're like, oh shit, here we fucking go. Somebody's got a last possession to win here.
I genuinely think it would be the Jacksonville Jaguars Chiefs game, and that's only because the team that the Jaguars have, they have on offense anyway. They have a really good offense. I mean, Trevor Lawrence has had a very good season this year in comparison to what he did last year. Plus, he has the pieces around him with Travis Etienne, Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, even Zay Jones. Those are all good players that he has around him on offense. To yeah, they have a good offense. I don't really know much about their defense other than they drafted Trayvon, what's his name, Trayvon Walker or whatever with the 1 pick last year. I don't really know how he's been as a player, but I think their defense is okay. But yeah, I don't know.
I would just love to see, even if it fucks up who I picked, I would like to see one of those 2 pull an upset.
The Jaguars or the Giants.
Yeah, either one of them. I would like to see an
I'd
upset.
rather see the. I mean, I don't like either team. I don't like the Giants or Eagles. But if I had to pick one, and I don't really like the Chiefs either, but I can tolerate them more than the Eagles or Giants. I don't really like the Giants. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'd probably rather see the Chiefs lose then.
It just makes it that much crazier, especially going into. I mean, obviously in the wild card, always going to be at least like one upset or usually at least one upset that you just didn't pick. But once you get into the conference champ round, it's interesting to see if one of the higher seeds is in there.
I mean, out of all the teams left, the teams I'd want to see in the Super Bowl would be the Bengals, Bills, and the Jaguars. Just one of those 3 teams. If they make the Super Bowl, which I think the Bills will anyway.
I just realized too, the AFC and NFC, the 1, 2, and 3 seeds are in there for both, aren't they?
Yeah, we got the Chiefs, Bills, Bengals,
And
and Eagles, Niners, and where's it 3?
Dallas, right?
Dallas was a 5.
Were they a 5? Okay, shit.
Yeah, because
That's right. Minnesota had the 4.
We got 3. Oh,
or
were they the
3.
4? I thought they were the 3.
No, no,
Yeah,
you might be right.
because they won their division. Because Dallas is a 5, and that's where I think it gets dumb though, because with how they seed it and
That's
everything.
right.
Like
Tampa Bay
Dallas
was the
shouldn't have been
4.
a 5 seed. Yeah, they obviously we know they shouldn't have. They should have been the 7 because record wise they were the worst team to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I know we talked about that. I think it was either last week or the week before, but they definitely got to change that.
Yeah, they definitely should because Tampa shouldn't have even been in the playoffs. Because if we're going based off of actual like record and everything, they would have got kicked out. The Lions, I think, would have actually made it in this case. Right? Yeah, they would have. The Lions, if that's how they did it, the Lions would have been in the playoffs. Lions got screwed over really badly. But there's always next season. And the Lions, I think a lot of people have been talking about them as what their potential is for next year. They're a potential team to go like 12-5, 11-6. So, and maybe even win their division. Because I don't think the Bears are going to they should be better than this year, but they're not a playoff team. The Green Bay, they're a mess. I don't know what's going to go on with
Yeah.
them. Minnesota, even though they went 13-4 this year, I don't think they're going to have as good of a season next year. I think they'll still be fine, but also there's a question mark around Justin Jefferson and what's going on with him.
I knew it was crazy. I'm just looking at the Jags thing right now, and I knew it was like 2-6 or something like that, and I think that is what they are, 2-7 or 2-6, but 3, 4, 5. Yep, starting out 2-6, and now 9-8. It'd be kind of cool to see them somehow manage to get to a Super Bowl.
I don't think has Jacksonville ever even been to a Super Bowl? I don't know. I think they're one of the 4 NFL teams that have never even been to one.
I haven't remembered it in the time I've been old enough to really understand football and watch it.
I think they're one of 4 teams. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's 4 teams that have never even been to one, which are the Lions, Browns, Jaguars, and Texans.
That sounds about right.
And then there's like half the league that's never won the Super Bowl. I wonder, actually, I don't even know. I could name all the teams that have ever won the Super Bowl, but I don't know. I'm not counting for the counting.
Let's see. Well, Anna, do you have anything else to add for NFL?
No, not really.
All right, we'll just hop over to NBA real quick because I know they're still about at the halfway mark, almost, for the season. Honestly, I remember it's been probably a month now since we've even talked about NBA. We just talked about it a little bit in one of the first couple episodes.
Yeah, just because it's still we're 45 games into the season out of an 82 season, so 82 game season, and
It's not too far off from where it was when we last looked at it.
Not really. I mean, the Nets have gotten better. I know that they're in the 4 slots. I don't know if they were before we were talking. They might have not even been a top 10 team in the Eastern Conference, but at least they're a top 4 now, which is normal for them.
I know the Pelicans dropped and Mavericks moved
Pelicans
up.
did drop. Yeah, Pelicans dropped because they were at number 1. They dropped down. Denver's now number 1. A team that also dropped down far was the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
They have a losing record, and that's a team that should be probably a top 5 team in the West. Obviously, still the Lakers. When we were talking about this last, the Lakers were still bad, and they still are bad.
Yeah.
Although with Phoenix, I know they have had injury problems, I believe. Like, isn't Devin Booker? Yeah, they have injury problems. That's why they're doing so bad. I'm looking at it right now. Chris Paul injured. Their backup point guard's injured, and their third string point guard is injured. Does that mean they've had this guy playing? Yeah, they have. They've had Saban Lee as their point guard. The second, I've heard of him, but I don't really know anything about it. Well, yeah, like Devin Booker's hurt, Chris Paul's hurt, so that's why the Suns are bad. Is because they've had injury problems.
And honestly, I think the NBA is going to keep playing out like this. A couple of things could change. It mainly obviously comes down to usually the bubble teams, like who's fighting for the 8, 9, 10 ish spot, especially 9 and 10 normally. But
Yeah. Uh, there's a lot of surprising teams this year, good and bad. I mean, obviously the Lakers being a surprise because they didn't make the playoffs last year, and this year they're looking like they're not going to make it again. The Suns, but also like I said, the Suns have had injury issues. Another team that's surprising, and I don't really know their like status in terms of health, but the Timberwolves. That's a team. They're really not injured, but that's a team that should be good because they made the playoffs last year.
yeah, they're the 10
When
seed right now, but they
Yeah, but they have a good team though.
all around, yeah. I mean, you got Cat, you got D'Angelo Russell, right?
Yeah,
And
Ohio State alumni.
Edwards.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards, and they have Rudy Gobert, who I think is kind of overrated anyway, but they still have him on the team. That team is 100%. They should be the top. They shouldn't be a bubble team.
No,
I know
it should
that
be a top
much.
5, 6 seed for sure.
Yeah, they should be in that range. They should be a top six team in the West. And the Sacramento Kings, a team I've been liking all the season, and I've always liked them just because they're basically the Cleveland Browns of the NBA. They're a 3 seed right now.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I just looked at. I saw it on last night. I didn't see who won, but yeah, they did beat the Lakers last night.
Oh yeah, that should be easy. Did LeBron even play in that game? Probably. Doesn't really miss.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, the Lakers. I know they don't have Anthony Davis, but even without Anthony Davis, they still have LeBron James. Even though he's like 40, he's still good. So, and they have Russ, but Russ has been.
The weird thing is that they've worked him into being less of he's like clearly a lot less of a liability now, and
Yeah,
he's
he's been
honestly
better.
been
He
playing
has been.
better too, and they're still not winning. It just I don't.
I just they're surrounding. I mean, okay. The issue with them is so they have LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook, but Anthony Davis he gets hurt a lot.
Charles
Like he
Barkley called
doesn't.
him street clothes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, because he is. He's always injured. The last time he's played was like exactly a month ago. Was the last time he played, and the rest of their team and Russell isn't even starting. I mean, he's their sixth man, but he's not even starting. I don't know who their starting point guard is. I think it's Lonnie Walker, maybe. I'm not
He's
even
been
100%.
playing pretty good, honestly, this year too.
Lonnie.
Yeah,
He's hurt.
he hasn't been
According to
consistent
this.
when he has played, but he's played good a lot, multiple games this season where I've just been looking at stats. Dennis Schroeder's been
Oh,
way underperforming.
yeah, Dennis Schroeder. Eh,
Yeah,
he's been good here and there. Patrick Beverly. He's not an offensive guy. He never has been.
yeah.
But he's not. I mean, when you have a starting lineup of Dennis Schroeder, who shouldn't be a starting point guard, he's more of a six man. Patrick Beverly, who, yeah, okay, you can start him, but he's not an offensive threat. Lonnie Walker, who's injured anyway. LeBron, okay, right, obviously. And then Thomas Bryant, who's okay. He's not terrible, but when that's your starting lineup, even though I know Anthony Davis would really be their starting center, and obviously Russ probably should be their starting point guard, not Dennis Schroeder. But yeah, I mean that's why they have a bunch of basically like older players that are washed up, or role players that are like in their playing time minutes. That's probably why is they don't have pieces. They have LeBron James, pretty much, and Russell Westbrook, who's been inconsistent anyway. And then obviously again you have Anthony Davis, but he's never healthy.
Yep.
So
I know last time we looked at it too. I know there was probably about 30 games into the season roughly. Obviously, you never know how far they're going to go in the playoffs either. But I think last time we looked at it, the Heat were like a 10 seed or 9 seed or like a bubble team still, and they moved up into the top 6. So they're actually playing like how they should be now too.
yeah, you'd have been.
I
Yeah, I
haven't
think
even been
that'll
keeping
lose
track of
record.
them.
Yeah, I haven't. I should track because I've been more paying attention to football just because it's the season's faster, and obviously it's now in the playoffs, whereas basketball's not even at its All-Star break yet. But I haven't. I mean, when obviously NFL ends, I'll probably be more invested into what's going on with the NBA. But yeah, the Miami Heat, yeah, definitely. Tyler Hero's a starter finally.
Yeah. And I just wish, I know they're the 10 seed right now, but I just wish the Bulls were completely healthy again.
Is who's hurt over there?
Last time I checked, I think Lonzo was still hurt.
Let's see. They got yeah, Lonzo's not even listed in their depth chart, but they're still healthy though. I mean, they have Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Nikola Vucevic. All three of those players, they're all like borderline all-star type players.
Yeah,
And then
but
AO,
it just seemed like when they were playing with Lonzo, they were really good.
has Lonzo even played at all this year? Or has he been
I
out
don't.
for
I
like
think he's been
injuries?
out the whole year.
He's also another guy that I feel like he doesn't play a lot.
I think there for a while, those first, I think 2 seasons or however long he's been with the Bulls now, he's been pretty consistent other than like small injuries.
Last season he only played 35 games.
That's
He didn't play a lot last year. Lonzo Ball, he's hurt. He's always had injury problems.
Was that with the same injury or the same injury that he has this year? The one that happened last year? Was it
I don't know.
ACL or something?
I'm not sure what it was. It says he has discomfort in his surgical it says left knee. But I mean, Lonzo's not bad. He definitely help a little bit, but he's not like. I mean, Lonzo was 100% overhyped coming out of college because everyone was thinking he was the next Magic Johnson. He's obviously not that. He's just average.
And it's kind of been that way this year with Lonzo, or not Lonzo, LaMelo too, hasn't it? Because I just clicked on the Charlotte's thing and saw
They're terrible.
He's got another left ankle sprain.
Yeah, he's been hurt like all season. I don't even know if he's played like 10 games this year, has he? Oh, he's played 20. Never mind. But
That's
oh,
only
he's
half
playing
their games.
He played yesterday. He had 13
Yeah,
points.
that's when he sprained his left ankle.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, he's been good though. He's definitely
Yeah,
better than he's already. I think he's already made an All-Star team, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. If I remember it correct, last year he averaged like 21, 7, and 7 or something, which is really good for especially like a 19-year-old at that time.
Right. Yeah. Last year he averaged 20 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. Or sorry, 7 rebounds last year. And then this year, in the little time he's played, he's put up about 23, 24 points a game, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. So, yeah, he's definitely, well, he's better than Lonzo.
Well, I just clicked down to our Discord on accident.
Um,
Good thing not too many of you fuckers listened to it this far in. But
does it show that on YouTube how long people listen or watch a video for or no?
yeah, it does. I haven't even thought to check that. I will after we're done recording this one. But yeah, NBA's honestly like we've been saying it the whole time. It's not going to be super interesting, and other than like crazy games or something like Luka's 60-20-20 or whatever the hell it was.
Donovan Mitchell's 70-point game from like
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago.
Apparently he got drug tested the next morning.
Or what?
Yeah, just
Steroid?
yeah, for PEDs or anything really. But yeah, I mean NBA is gonna get way more heated up. Honestly, after the Super Bowl, all basketball will be really interesting, especially
Specifically
NCAA.
college. Yeah, that's when NCAA gets like very exciting to pay attention to. Is
The last couple
end of
weeks.
February, beginning of March. Yeah,
But
you have conference tourneys and obviously March Madness.
well, do you got anything else to add for anything?
No.
Because I've said about anything I have to say right now. I've been casually watching a handful of NBA games here and there throughout the week and stuff, but that's it.
No. Yeah, I haven't watched much anyway of it. I mean, there's a game going on right now. Bulls are actually winning by like 10, but they're also playing the Pistons, so I'd hope they win.
Well, yeah, that's it for me then too. I guess we'll check in with you guys and see what's going on once we get done with this weekend. Find out who's going to be in the conference champs. Appreciate anybody that's tuning back in. Check the TikTok as always, and we appreciate y'all. Peace.